And it's Ken Kraetzer for Cbsi Talking Business, our series of interviews with experts in banking, insurance, customer service, travel, and business education, and all to highlight our team at Cbsi. We provide insurance-based travel benefits and merchandise protection programs to the credit card payments field. Now, we're very glad today to talk to one of our friends, coming back to our show, and that is Margie McCartney, who is an executive vice president of the new company, Reiimagine, and has been traveling and has a whole lot of great destinations for her clients. Margie, how are you today?
I'm terrific, Ken. Thanks. And you?
Good, good. Great to talk with you again. Margie's got a favorite book out called And Then, and uh, and talks about her entry into the travel business. And Margie, I was just on a trip to Huntsville, Alabama last week, going through Nashville, and the airport was really busy, and seems like air travel is back to where it was pre-COVID.
It certainly seems like it. I flew back from Easter in New York early Monday morning, and both LaGuardia and Midway were packed.
Absolutely. Well, Margie, you're an EVP, Executive Vice President of a new opportunity company, Reiimagine, travel experts. Tell us about your new role.
Yeah, I just started at the beginning of this year, and what Reiimagine does is represents 4- and 5-star new or newly refurbished hotels all over the world. The founder there's 4 founders actually that are partners. Penny Wing, who is the CEO, and her husband Victor, her colleague Elaine Macy, who has been in the industry forever. We didn't know each other, but we've become fast friends. She's great. Penny's great. Victor's great. And Herman is in Mexico City. And the 4 of them run the show. And we've got different people across the United States, Asia, Canada. And we are not a commission-based organization. The hotels pay us to represent them, and then we're just an extension of their sales force. So we are considered connectors. So we talk to people. I work with groups, but we have a whole leisure team, very different genres, as you can imagine, but both really busy all the time. And it's been very exciting. We represent some fabulous bucket list hotels that anyone would be grateful to stay at.
Very good. Well, tell us a little bit about how you plan a trip for a group, and what are some of the types of groups that you tend to work with?
I work with incentive houses, corporations. I used to work with associations, but in my experience, associations usually are at big hotels because they've got lots of people. Usually it's chained, so we would be more for like a board meeting or a retreat for them. But I was very fortunate recently in February, my second month. I took 7 clients to Ireland on a FAM trip, which is short for familiarization. And they were all people that plan meetings and events for their clients or their companies around the world. So it was great. We got to go to 5 of our 5-star properties, starting out in Belfast at the Galgorm Resort, which has a spectacular spa. You're in a hot tub in a river with a gurgling brook going behind you and champagne in your hand. That's not so bad. And then we got to see dogs herding sheep. That was fabulous. We went to the Titanic Museum. Belfast is a really hopping city. We got to go to lunch downtown and tour the area. Fabulous. Then we went to the Luchilson Castle, which was fabulous for a wonderful lunch. And then falconry on the yard in the lawn afterwards. And then off to Dublin, which never disappoints. We stayed at the Fitzwilliam Hotel right in the square downtown. And they have a new townhouse opening up, and a Cellar 22, which is really cool vibe place for like afternoon or lunch or dinner or afternoon drinks and snacks. Really cool. And then we went to Cashel Palace in Tipperary, which was magnificent, great grounds, beautiful hotel. And then ended up at the Great Southern in Killarney, which was wonderful, great town, lots to do. And on our last night, we went to the Killarney Brewery and Distillery, which a guy from Chicago is part owner of. So that was very cool as well.
Well, that's neat. Of course, you're Chicago-based and big Chicago Cubs fan. Now, what are some, if a client came into you for a group, what would be some of the destinations domestically that you might recommend to them to consider?
Well, domestically, I was just on a sales mission in New York for a week at the beginning of March. And we had 4 of our properties, 1 from Mexico, 1 from London, obviously not domestic, but Little Gems Resorts, which are in Livongo in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, and another great resort called Fox Harbor in Nova Scotia, Canada, which I don't know if you've ever heard of, but it's quite a gem. Big golf. I'll get you up there golfing. I've heard great things. Right now, cruises, as you had said to me the other day, cruises are packed. Caribbean and Mexico are really popular because they're all inclusive and they take it to a variety of different destinations. Right now in the UK, things are hopping. As I said, Ireland is strong. Italy, due to overcrowding of Italy last year, a lot of people are going to different cities to explore. We have a hotel in Greece. Things are hopping over there as well. Because of the Olympics, France is hyper-focused right now with groups going over there. Bali is very popular. Asia destinations are going crazy. We now have properties in Vietnam, which is becoming very popular. They were the last ones to open up after COVID, so the requests are coming in fast. And Hawaii, we've got properties, and Mexico all over. So just lots going on. People looking to go everywhere. There's a lot of events like IMEX is a big trade show that we go to in Vegas. We're going to do a post program after that. There's the Society of Incentive Travel Excellence, just was in Istanbul. It's going to be in Mexico next year. We're going to try to get some clients to come to our properties before or after to experience our place, since they're already going to be in Tulum. So just to try to tie it in and make it convenient for the client to explore new destinations.
Very good. You mentioned the Olympics coming up in France this year. What's involved if somebody wanted to go to the Olympics, or you had a corporate group? A lot of the advertisers, sponsors want to go for a few days. What's involved if someone wanted to go to the Olympics this year?
Well, we could call our property over there and get some insight as to how you get tickets. I'm personally not going, but my niece lives in Paris. So I actually was initially thinking that maybe I would go over and help try to work the Olympics, but I think those teams are built way, way out in advance.
Yeah.
But I went to the Olympics once in Sydney, Australia in 2000, and it was magnificent. And I really wanted to go to a place where I was the outsider, not in the US when it was in Atlanta or some of the other places, LA. And it was spectacular because it's such an international celebration of humanity. And I'm sure France is going to hit it out of the park.
Absolutely. Now, Margie, you go to great lengths to make group travel very smooth and comfortable and enjoyable for your clients. What are some of the keys to make an enjoyable and smooth trip happen for your clients?
Well, getting us to help them first with their hotel and make sure they're VIP'd helps. And then we can connect them with destination management companies which can help with their transportation and their tours and have everything set up in advance. You really don't want to get someplace and do it on the fly because then things start going south pretty quickly. I think I mentioned to you that I was on a global scavenger hunt around the world last year. Yeah. One of the cool things about that was that we didn't know where we were going, but they had organized everything for us in advance. So we knew we had to be in San Francisco on April 14th. And that we had to get a plane ticket there, and that we were coming home from Montreal on I don't know, May 8th or 9th or 10th. I can't remember exactly. So we only knew the first city and the last city. And then at the end of that scavenge, they would tell us where we were going next. So it was kind of cool, but it was all taken care of, which really does make a difference. So if you can get, someone to help you with that. So we went, I think I'm not even sure if I told you the places that we went to, but from San Francisco, we went to Uzbekistan. No, Seoul, South Korea, excuse me. From Seoul, we went to Uzbekistan. We were there for Ramadan. And then we went to one of my favorite places was Tbilisi, Georgia, which would never have been on my bucket list, and I would go back again. We had a take your cab driver to lunch day. That was my favorite day. We had a great driver. And then we went to Jerusalem before what's going on there now is going on. So I had been there before, but fabulous destination. And then we went to Sofia, Bulgaria, the 7 Balkan states, Zagreb, Croatia, and then Istanbul, which was magnificent. And I jumped into the Black Sea at 5:30 in the morning for 150 team points. It was freezing, but worth it because we ended up winning a bronze medal, which was spectacular.
And that was called the Global Scavenger Hunt. Who organizes that one?
A couple by the name of Bill and Pamela Chalmers. They've lived all over the world. They're traveling all over the world all the time. They're an amazing couple. And they've been doing it for, 16, 18, 20 years, I think. Bill had sent me an email back when I worked for a destination management company years ago, asking if I would be interested, but I needed to take 3 weeks off and it was a lot of money. So I had to save up and figure out how to get the time. And then everything fell into place and it was canceled in 2020. I went with my old boss and my dear friend, Kathleen Wood. She and I worked together at the National Restaurant Association years ago. And our team name was the Cubs fans. So the couple that came in first place were two doctors from San Francisco. The couple that came in second place were two lawyers from New York City, and they had won every other year. And if you win, you get to go the next year for free. So that's a pretty good incentive. It was fabulous. We met wonderful people, learned tons of stuff. Just was a trip of a lifetime, without a doubt.
It certainly sounds like that. And Margie McCartney, you're working on a TED Talk on
Yes.
thought leadership. What is your subject on that, or and a couple of points?
The subject is burst your own bubble, BYOB, instead of bring your own booze, burst your own bubble. And basically just talks about, stretching yourself, going beyond what you think you can do, believing in yourself, just a lot of things that can get you through some difficult times. And so I was told you got to apply to about 80 different TEDx talks. And I'm waiting to hear back from one in October. I have my fingers crossed. I haven't heard yet. But they say you usually have to apply to 80 to get one. I've only applied to about 20, 25 because got a lot going on in my life right now. But hopefully we'll get one on the books in the near future because I'm excited about that as well. It'd be fun to have that on my resume.
That would be a great talk to hear. I'm sure you do a great job with it. And Margie, final thought today about what's an exciting travel destination or plan for you might recommend to a client this year?
Well, lots going on in Mexico. Always fun to go there. Not too far away. Don't have to go over an ocean. But if you're staying in the United States, there's tons of options. The ones I mentioned earlier from our partners. London is hopping. Ireland is always great. And having just been there, I'll put in a plug for that. And then France with the Olympics coming up is always great. And a new find for me last year was Istanbul. I know the Society of Incentive Travel Excellence was held there just a few months ago. I wasn't able to go this year. I was in London, but just there's so many great places, and traveling is just the greatest gift of all. I believe it's a gift you give yourself.
Yeah, no, and you are a great representative and a great travel planner, and you have so much excitement and enthusiasm for helping your clients. It's so evident, Margie.
Thank you, Ken.
Our pleasure. Margie McCartney was an executive vice president with a new company, Reiimagine, and we'll have a link to their website in our description. Margie, thanks for joining us. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Cbsi Talking Business. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.